works, remember if it's collective, you have to look at the context, if it's singular or collective, and they're doing different things, so it's more than one. I got you. All right, so only one for today, only new section for today, the titles, quotes, and amounts. Okay? The first two, actually I think this whole section you'll find pretty easy. The first two are really simple because they're both singular all the time. If you have the title of a book, a play, a magazine, whatever, even if it's got plural words inside of it, it takes a singular verb because it's one item. Okay, look at your examples here. Little Women is a classic story, okay? I know women is a plural word, but it's one story, so you use is. Winkin', Blinkin', and Nod, all right? Cute names, I think. Is a favorite children's poem, okay? Again, it's one poem. It's got, 3 different people named in it, but it's still one poem, so it takes is. And then Riders to the Sea, and yes, the word riders is plural, but again, it's one item, okay? One story, so we use is. Look at the top of page 223. This is the same idea. Whenever we do a quoted word or a phrase, okay, even if there are plural words, or if the quoted word, if it's singular, is plural, it's still going to take a singular verb, okay? So if I were to say, let's see here. That's not a good example. It says aesthetics. Let's think of another word that we could say. Okay. What's a word that's often mispronounced, John? Especially? Okay. It needs to be something that I can make it plural.
Supposed. What did you say? Specific.
This book used like
Spaghetti.
aesthetics.
I know, I see aesthetics is a difficult word to spell.
Spaghettis.
Biscotti.
But are you gonna say spaghettis?
No.
Again, you're not helping me here, I need a plural word, okay? Just look at the,
What? That's a landress. She's not, she needs it.
Okay, just look at the one in the book for this one, okay? I wanted to put this on the board for 2 reasons, but I'll just point out both reasons as we go through it. Aesthetics is a difficult word to spell, okay? The aesthetics is a plural word, okay? Or a plural looking word and the reason it's italicized is because we are not saying the aesthetics of the room. The aesthetics of something is the way it looks. Plastic surgeons deal with the aesthetics, generally speaking, of a person, okay? So aesthetics is a difficult word to spell. We're not using it to say the aesthetics of the room were attractive. We're saying the word aesthetics, okay, is a difficult word to spell. It's like, when we italicize it like this, it's like we're quoting it, okay? Because we're using it as what we would call a word used as a word, okay? And I know that sounds weird, but you're pointing it out and saying something specific about the word itself, not using the word in context like it would normally be used, okay? These get underlined for italics if you're handwriting, they get underlined. Of course, if you're typing, they get italics, okay? And what it's saying here is they're using it as a quoted word, and therefore it takes a singular verb, okay, even though it looks plural. You guys, I think this next part would be very simple to you. The lights along the waters, okay, this is one quote, one phrase from a particular play, okay? Yes, it has a couple of plural words in there, but it's one phrase, therefore it takes the singular verb is. Now, switch gears just a little bit. This is the last section on today as far as information, okay? An amount is also treated as a singular item, although the items that make up the amount may be plural, okay? Now, this applies to specific types of amounts. Amounts considered singular, okay? Even though there may be more than one or it may be quite a bit of something in that amount, amount's considered as singular because it's considered one amount. This includes measured amounts, okay? Those of you that do any cooking at all, who have helped your parents with cooking or have done cooking on your own, you know about measured amounts. Teaspoons, tablespoons, cups, etc., okay? So measured amounts, such as those, okay? You could also have, under measured amounts, you could have feet, okay? You would still be singular. 5 cups is the amount the recipe called for. Okay? 3 feet is the distance between here and there.
Why is it singular if you need 5 cups?
Because it's a measured amount, and that's the way we considered it one measured amount. Like your recipe calls for 2 teaspoons of vanilla and 2 cups of flour. 2 cups is the amount called for. Okay?
That's
So,
confusing.
well, I'm sorry. I mean, I don't mean that mean, but I'm just kind of like, I don't know what to say to that. I'm trying to explain it the best I can. Measured amounts, okay? Then we have amounts of money. Okay? And this will make sense to you, I think. It's going to sound wrong if you do it wrong. $5, not are the cost of this, but is the cost, right? It costs $5. $5 is the cost. It's one amount of money, okay? The only way that this would be plural is if you were to say, he gave me $5, or $5 are lying on the table. And you mean $5 $1 bills, okay? Generally speaking, amounts of money are going to be considered singular, no matter how large the amount. And then finally, periods of time. And my example for this would be 1,000 years is as a day in the eyes of the Lord. And that's not an exact quote from a verse, but it's pretty close in the Bible. Because he does not measure time the way we do in any way, shape, or form, okay? But it's a period of time. Or if you were to say, 2 hours is the time allotted for the exam. Not 2 hours are the time allotted. 2 hours is, okay? So measured amounts, whether it be cups, inches, whatever, amounts of money, $5, $1,000, $2, and periods of time, okay? All considered singular, taking singular verbs, okay? Let's go ahead and look at their examples as well, just to reinforce this. 2 cups of chocolate chips is needed for the cookies, okay? 2 cups. $30.75 was the price of the shoes, singular. $2 is the cost of each ticket, and then 3 months seems a long time to me, not seem a long time, seems, singular, okay? All right, let's do 2 or 3 of these together, and then we'll go over to 914 and do a couple of those together at least, okay? And yes, I know it's still on, I'm gonna let him get the benefit. Dylan, we're gonna let you get the benefit of going through a couple of these together. Number 1, no furniture is so charming as books. Blank, an interesting notation by Sydney Smith, implying that printing is an art. Caitlin? Is. It's one quote. Number 2, 2,000 feet of paper, blank, printed in 1 minute by some web presses. Kaylee? Is. It's a measured amount of paper. Number 3, the New York Times, blank, an example of an everyday item from a printing press. Isaac? Is. Okay? Most of these are going to be singular, but I see 2 that are plural in this section. Okay? So if you come up with just 2 plural, you probably got them right.
Just in this section?
In that section, correct. Of the remaining 7, there are 2 plural. Okay, your choices on 914, please write this down. Okay, I'm not going to write it on the board. It's 4 words. You're capable of listening and writing them down. I'm not trying to be hateful, but was, were, is, and are. Those are the only 4 words that can be used, that will be used correctly on 914. Was, were, is, and are. Let's do first couple of these together. 4 years, blank the time that Johann Sebastian Bach was organist at New Church in Arnstadt. Okay. Was.
Oh.
Because he's not alive anymore. Okay. Number 2, 20 children, blank, born to Bach. Who has it? Emma. Were. Okay. And then number 3, French suites, blank, a piece written for the harpsichord. Caitlin? Is. Okay, it's 1 piece of music, all right? Is, are, was, were for the rest of 914. 2 plural verbs on 4 through 10 on 913, okay? I will help you if you need it. Oh, I gotta cut off Dylan. Bye, Dylan. Sorry.